Welcome again. My name is Lamecca Holmes, Director of the East Flatbush Community Partnership. And as usual, we are grateful that you are joining us for our monthly meeting in the month of May. I want to share with you our agenda for today, and then we're going to continue on. We're going to have words of encouragement today by Pastor James. We're going to have our East Flatbush Community Partnership updates. We're going to have two presentations, one by Luz Martinez and the other by Charlene Gordon. We're going to have a mental health segment as well as program updates. Pastor James, would you please unmute yourself and lead us in some words of encouragement?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So good afternoon to everyone under the sound of my voice, and thank you, Ms. Holmes, for this opportunity to be part of that which is going on at East Flatbush. My name is James Sose Kofi. I'm one of the associate pastors of Bethesda Healing Center in Brownsville, and also one of the clergy leads of God Squad. So this afternoon, as we get ready to start this powerful, wonderful meeting, I just want to, on behalf of God Squad and of course all Flatbush citizenry, to extend our warmest and deepest condolences and sympathies to the families of both Buffalo and Orange County, and was it yesterday or 2 days ago, Texas, where lives have been lost through unexplained reasons, senseless killings. And we want to pray with them, stand with them, and do everything that we can at this crucial time to really let them know that we are all together in this, and that God, who sees and knows everything, will continue to be their strength. So having said that, just a quick word of encouragement. We know gratitude. Gratitude is the most healthy, or the healthiest of all the emotions of the human family. And anytime we express or show gratitude, this is what it does to us. It gives us the joy in order to go on to do whatever we need to do. Most of the time, people say that, oh, I'm not happy, I'm not this, I'm not that. Now, they want to have happiness so they can be thankful or appreciative or gratified. But the truth of the matter is, first, you need to be thankful. You are thankful for the little things that happen in your life. For example, see, to be mobile is a miracle. The gift of speech is a miracle. It's one of the main differences between an animal and a human being. Animals think, but they can't speak, they can't talk. To have friends, to have family members around, to have a job, even if some stuff are not going right, you have more going for you that are against you. And the fact that you can belong to, like, this meeting is a way, or is a place for you to be thankful to God for you being part of something that is bigger than you. So gratitude is something that we should not take for granted. Now, by saying that, I might say that if you are gratified, you can't be dissatisfied. No, you can be grateful and still be dissatisfied. Why? Because you are craving for more. That is when the power that is within you is released for you to do much more than you are doing, because I believe that everybody has the capacity and the ability to excel and to do much, much, much more than we are doing. Why? Because we serve a God who is a much more God. So as we begin our meeting today, this is just a brief thing that I'm leaving with us. One of the ways by which you can show gratitude in this modern world where technology abounds is to send a text to somebody. Even if you don't want to call, send a text. And if you can't do it every day, choose one day during the week, either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday, that you would devote at least, to start off with, 15 minutes or 10 minutes, where you send text messages to people who have played either significant or insignificant role in your life, because even if you consider it insignificant, the fact that it was performed, as we say, the strength of the chain is always the weakest point. Even if it was insignificant, the fact that it was performed has contributed to where you are right now. So with this, I would like us to enter into a time of prayer. If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes, unless of course you're driving and you don't have to do that. But whichever posture that you want to be in, please be in. But the most important thing is that we're praying. So let's pray. Father, we thank you for men and women that you have chosen in this end time to be part of this wonderful move of yours, that we can help improve the quality of life for our people in Flatbush. Father, even as we gather this afternoon, we pray that you who have always been with us, we are not asking you to be with us. You are with us, you live within us, and where we are, you are, because we carry you wherever we go. And so manifest yourself through the deliberations. May the wisdom that we need to even speak, think, and titrate matters be granted us, that at the end of it all, we'll have cause to say that this indeed is the doing of the Lord, and it is marvelous in our eyes. We thank you and we'll bless you for who you are and what you mean unto us. In Jesus' name we pray, and we all say amen and amen. Back to the host.
Thank you so much, Pastor James. We appreciate you for joining us today.
Pleasure.
Okay, we're going to continue with our agenda. Next, our East Flatbush Community Partnership updates. Cindy. Oh, I'm sorry, that should say upcoming. Cindy.
Hello, everyone. Cindy Reed here, community organizer. For our first update, the Flatbush SDA Education Department is in collaboration with the partnership, and it is presenting a great kids virtual cooking series that will explore a plant-based diet and fitness. The class will be offered to 25 to 28 participants, and the curriculum was just be aiming to empower children with the knowledge and skills to establish more healthy habits. Next, the partnership looks forward to supporting the upcoming Brooklyn Father Street Appreciation on June 28th. Claude McMahon and is in collaboration with the Bedford-Stuyvesant Family Center. And they are spearheading the event. And we just like to share with anybody who would like to support that event. I will share the email for Claude and Lawrence, who's also on the planning committee, but we look forward to supporting this event for Father Appreciation in June. And then lastly, we continue to plan our plans for the summer giveaway, which will include Clean Right laundry gift cards, detergent, other resources, and much more. There has been a little bit delay in the plans as we coordinate with the Clean Right laundromats in the community, but more details are definitely on the way, coming soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Again, welcome. Please put your name and let us know what organization you're representing. Also, let us know if you are a resident of East Flatbush. We are so glad that you're with us today. Diane, could you please introduce our first speaker?
Yes, good afternoon all. My name is Diane Smith, and I'm a community ambassador with East Flatbush Community Partnership. And I have the pleasure of introducing Luz Martinez, who is a community health educator with the New York City Poison Control Center. Luz, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. Can I share the presentation now? Let me see.
Yes, you may.
Okay, wonderful. Right. Okay, so can everybody see the presentation and hear me okay, right? All right, thank you. Okay, so let's get started. Thank you again, everyone. So why is it important for us to talk about poisoning, right? Well, I just want to highlight the fact that it's the leading cause of injury and death in the United States, and it can happen to any age group. There's a misconception that poisonings only occur to children. Yes, children are at higher risk, but however, it can happen to any of us. The good news is that poisonings are preventable. Just to give you some stats from 2016 regarding poisonings, yes, we talked about that children under the age of 6 are at high risk, as you can see there on that graph, as well as individuals between the ages of 20 to 59. If you want to know more information about this report, you can find it by just taking out your cell phone and scanning that QR code. It will take you with more detailed information. For now, I also want to highlight that the Center for Disease Control also came up with these stats that I think are very important that we discuss with the community, highlighting the fact that injuries are a leading cause of death for children and teens in the United States, and that the different types of injuries may vary by age, right? So one of them is suffocation, drowning, motor vehicle crashes. And related to poisonings and drug overdose death rates among Hispanic children, it increased between 50% between the years of 2010 to 2019. 30% increase in poisoning and drug overdose death rates among Black children. So it's important to highlight this information so we all as a community can try to see how we can improve these rates, right? So one other thing is probably teaching the community or making the community aware of what is the Poison Control Center. I think this is the first step towards it says here that, okay, I hope everybody can see it. Okay. All right. Towards making sure that poisoning deaths definitely decrease. So poison control centers are basically helplines that provide treatment advice and information about unintentional and, yes, unfortunately, intentional poisonings. One of our goals, main objectives, is to reduce unnecessary emergency department visits, and this became very relevant during the pandemic. And that was because we wanted to make sure that we were not going to the emergency room unless it was a true emergency. Our helpline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we, as the Poison Center, there are 55 poison control centers in all the United States. And every year we receive approximately 2 million cases of poison exposures, which involve almost half of those poison exposures are related to children under the age of 6. And of course, why is that? Because at that age, children are usually exploring the world that surrounds them, and they want to bring everything into their mouth because that's the way little ones usually learn, or they're just curious, right? The good news is that 75% of these cases were able to be managed in the home. How was that possible? By picking up a phone and calling our helpline. Talking specifically about New York City Poison Control Center, we provide services in all 5 boroughs: Bronx, Brooklyn, of course, Manhattan and Queens, and Staten Island. In addition to the counties of Westchester, Nassau, and Suffolk. So if you have colleagues or friends or family members that live in these communities, please do encourage them to reach out to us if they happen to have any questions about poisoning or a poison emergency. All calls are free and confidential. If there is someone who cannot communicate in English, please encourage them to call us because we provide translation services in over 150 languages. Yes, it's New York and we speak many languages. The person who will answer your call is either a registered pharmacist or a nurse that in addition to the medical profession, they have become certified specialists in poison information. And this certification is all done under the umbrella of a very well-known organization, which is the American Association of Poison Control Centers. So you have an idea more or less of how busy we are. In the year 2020, we received just in New York City, 85,000 calls. At this time, you might be wondering, okay, so how do we communicate with the Poison Control Center? By just dialing any of those two numbers that you see on the screen, either the 1-800-222-1222 or 212-POISONS, which in reality is 212-764-7667. Let's be honest, in a real emergency, we will not remember these numbers. So our advice is make sure that these two numbers, you save them in your cell phone because we go everywhere with our cell phone. Make sure it's saved in your cell phone, that your family members, friends also save this number in your cell phone because you never know when a poisoning can occur. If you call the 1-800 number, which is a national number, meaning that you can you can be connected to anywhere in the United States. Just keep in mind that if your phone's area code is not from our catchment area, meaning New York City boroughs, Nassau, Suffolk, or Westchester, your call is going to be routed to the Poison Control Center associated with the area code of your phone. So let's say, for example, you have a mobile phone and the area code is from Florida. That call is going to be answered by the Poison Control Center in Florida. However, regardless of the poison control that picks up your call, you will still be provided with the same reliable, prompt, professional service. So please do reach out. And if you want to make sure to download the 1-800 number onto your cell phone, you can just send a text to the number 797979 with the word poison, just like you see it there, POISON 7, and you send it to 797979, and that 1-800 number is going to be downloaded to your cell phone. When most people always ask us, so do we call 911 or do we call the poison center? The answer is, please do call 911 immediately. If you find that the person who is poisoned is either unconscious, having convulsions, trouble breathing, or any true sign of an emergency. Even as the paramedics and the ambulance are on their way to your location, you can still call the Poison Control Center, so our specialists will be able to be on the phone with you until the paramedics arrive. We encourage everyone to call us, even if it's not an emergency. There are so many things that you might have questions about new products, medicines, the safe use of these products or medicines, dosing, right? Dosing seems to be always a question that we all have. Side effects, interactions. So if that is a situation you come across, please do reach out to us. If you find that the person who is poisoned is awake and alert, please call the Poison Center first before calling 911, because the reality is there are certain things that people might think is poisonous. And let me give you an example. Silica gel. Silica gel is a little packet that comes in all products that we buy nowadays, especially shoes, electronics. And the purpose of silica gel is to make sure that humidity is not going to damage your product, right? So on that silica gel packet, it says do not ingest. So of course, anybody seeing a dog or a cat ingesting that packet or a child ingesting the packet, they're going to panic thinking, oh, this is poisonous. In reality, it's not poisonous. But since all our bodies are different, make sure that If something is of concern, you reach out to the Poison Center. That happens to be one of the most common calls at the Poison Center. So please reach out. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now, getting to what is it that we do in the community, right? Our community engagement. The first one is a picture where I was at an event outdoors. It was really cold that day. So regardless of the temperature, we're out there in the community giving out our information. If you come across any events that you would like for us to participate, collaborate, let us know, please. On the right, you see a picture of my colleague, Jean Louis, who she also conducts presentations in Mandarin and Cantonese. That is a tabling, that is a workshop she was doing, basically illustrating all these look-alike products. Things that are very similar that we can really get poisoned with. So we ask for you as community partners to please support our poison prevention efforts. How? By hosting a webinar. So if you have a group of clients or you belong to any kind of club or any event that you find that our information can be helpful to that group, we are very flexible. It could be during the day, during the afternoon, evening, Saturdays, Sundays. We want to be everywhere giving out our information. So yes, invite us to present to your clients or groups that you might be part of. We can do these presentations in English, Cantonese, Mandarin, or Spanish. And some of the topics that we offer related to medicine safety are for medicine safety in older adults, medicine safety and falls prevention, medicine safety for parents and caregivers. And talking about parents and caregivers related to medicine safety, some of the things that we discussed during that webinar are like look-alike products. Look at that, those two pictures there. The gummy vitamins, the gummy candy. Even as an adult, it could be confusing to us, right? You will all agree that if I were to mix these two in a bowl, it would be very difficult for me as an adult to identify which is the gummy vitamins and which one is the candy. So imagine what a child might be thinking. When we discuss these webinars or workshops or interact with the community, we also highlight the fact that these are some of the other topics, like most people are under the impression that if it's natural, it's safe. Not really. And a perfect example is honey. We all love honey. Honey is for bees, not for babies, right? So we want to make sure that based on the recommendation from the Center for Disease Control, it is recommended that a child who hasn't reached their first year should not be fed honey. And the reason behind this is because it can cause infant botulism, which is a rare but serious illness that can really cause difficulty breathing, paralysis, and even death. Most people don't know this, right? You're thinking it's a natural product, it's okay to give it to a child. No, if you notice the stats there on the screen, in the year 2020, the Poison Control Center had to attend to 929 calls related to infant honey exposure. So please be careful. These are some of the things we tell the parents during our workshop as well. You know, take action. Don't leave your bag unattended, because we find that in our bags, it could be your purse, your bag, your backpack. We carry so many things that could be dangerous for a child. Think about it: cosmetics, medicine, perfumes, and so on. And now with the hand sanitizer and so on. So those are the things that we highlight during our webinars. Additional topics that we have available are carbon monoxide. And keep in mind that carbon monoxide is not just during the wintertime, it also occurs during the summertime. With plants, this is a perfect timing to be talking about plants, which we do, and we encourage everybody to be planting, but in a safe way, doing their gardening. But this will be a wonderful topic for your clients as well. With summer coming around, just around the corner, we also want to highlight some of the things that might be dangerous during the summer. We also have different topics depending on during the year where things come up. Like for example, during Halloween, we always highlight to be careful, have fun, but be careful of all those potential poisons. Perfect example, some of the cannabis edibles, right? So we want to make sure that we take care of that, of the cannabis edibles, that they're put away out of reach of children. Okay. Additional webinars, we have them for winter. We also have an ESL program, which basically encourages teachers, instructors to how to communicate to their students the importance about being safe with poisons. We provide teachers a teacher's guide and materials and proper training and so on. So if you know anybody who is an ESL instructor and wants to get more information about our ESL program, feel free to reach out to us. We also have another webinar called Poison Prevention in the Home, which talks a little bit about all the poisons. Having talked about the ESL program, this that you see here on the screen is our handbook, right, for the instructor, and it gives like highlights of everything that it's in the bathroom or in the kitchen that can be dangerous, and it's very, very friendly, user friendly. Okay, having talked about the seasonal webinars, right? So we talk about now that people are planting, gardening. We have the webinar called Prevent Plant Poisoning. We also have summer safety and winter safety. And next month, these are the webinars we are having. We have Prevent Poisoning during the summer safety, right? So we have June 14, we have English and Spanish. We will be talking about summer safety. And those are the dates and times. I'll be sharing them with you in an additional link in the chat later on. Everybody who attends our webinars receive a certificate like the one you see there. That might be a motivation for some of your clients, right? So let us know, and we'll coordinate the webinar, and also at the end, they will get their certificate. Another way as a community partner that you can support our program is by being part of our community partner program. It's basically 2 meetings that we have a year. One is during the month of poison prevention, during the month of March, when we celebrate National Poison Prevention Week, and also during September, or it could also be in October. It really depends on the year. Now, it's a wonderful gathering of over 150 organizations that want to collaborate with us in terms of giving out our information. And it's just participating twice a year. You can also bring your literature, you know, your brochures, anything about your program. We have a table where you can place all your information. It's a great opportunity to network with other agencies. Once we have a date for either October or September, October, I will be sharing that with everyone. Another way to support us is by just taking the online training that we have. It's called the Community Education Training. Once you do that training online, you can also print on your own your certificate. If you have your cell phone, feel free to scan that huge QR code we have there on the screen. It's going to take you to the Poison Prevention in the Home training that I was just discussing. And it takes about 15, 20 minutes. Once you complete those 20 minutes, you'll get the certificate. Another way to support us is by just requesting through mail or downloading our brochures, our literature, our educational materials. You can do that by going to our website. If you go to this QR code, it's going to take you to our order form, or you can go directly to our website. These materials are available in English, Spanish, Haitian Creole, Russian, and Chinese. And this is the order form I had just previously discussed. We also have posters. We have a safety card about the safe storage of methadone and buprenorphine, magnets, telephone stickers, medicine safety communication log, very interesting information. So if you want to request a webinar, you can just scan that QR code there, and it'll take you on how you can request a webinar for your clients. And you can also look us up on YouTube. We have a video in various languages that basically gives an overall about all the poisons that we can be exposed at home and that we need to be careful. It talks about carbon monoxide, plant poisoning, chemicals, so on. So take a look on YouTube. It's really interesting. Another way to support us, again, share our monthly webinar schedule. Every time I join the community partnership, I try to share with you our monthly webinars. So if you cannot attend, please share it with your clients or other community partners. That is a great way of supporting our efforts. This is a picture of our education team, community health education team. Basically, we want to highlight that, yes, don't be afraid of calling the Poison Center. We are also humans. We understand that we all make mistakes, and we're here to help you. Our mission is to save lives. Do not fear in calling the Poison Control Center. Some parents think that they're going to get reported and they hesitate. No. Our mission is to save lives. Please call and share our number with everyone. This is a picture of I was sharing here a table with my colleague Dylan, who conducts also presentations in Spanish. There is her contact information. She basically covers a very big area, also Westchester and the Bronx. And if you feel like you have, if you know that you have clients or want to set up a webinar, you can feel free to reach out to Dylan. And in the 5 boroughs, I can assist you also in Spanish, and that is my email address. Feel free to reach out. This is a picture of, again, Jean Louis, who I already mentioned. She does presentations in Mandarin and Cantonese. That is her contact information. She also covers the 5 boroughs. And our colleague, Eduardo Torres, in Spanish, also in Long Island. And that is his email address. I will be sharing all of these links with you later on. I can send them to Cindy and Lamecca later on, so it could be shared with all the community partners. Okay, and I'm ready for any questions you might have. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Luz. I have a question.
Yes.
Does your organization help with pet poisoning?
Great question. Yes, we all love our pets and we need to make sure they're safe as well. For the most part, yes, we can. However, if there is a particular animal that we're not able, the poison specialist, to assist with, they will definitely recommend and provide you with the contact information of the ASPCA. With the Poison Control Center, all our services are free. If you are going to reach out to ASPCA, you must have a credit card. So just want to highlight that. Reach out to us first. If it doesn't work out, then ASPCA. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your question. Any other question? I see Gabby Cervantes.
Hi, thank you so much for your presentation, Luz. It was wonderful. You
Thank you.
mentioned in your presentation, absolutely. You mentioned a tabling event with like over 100 organizations. I wanted to know, does it have to be health related because my organization, which services residents of all 5 boroughs of New York City, is employment and like job training and stuff like that. So I just wanted to double check.
No, we're not limited just to health. I mean, any organization in the community, any community partner that wants to participate in our community partnership is welcome. So yes, we would love to have you. So as soon as I have a date, the next time we haven't determined exactly the date, but next time we find out what the date is going to be, I'll be sure that I'll share it with Lamecca and Cindy, so all the community partners can hopefully participate.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other questions?
I see your Maha has a hand up.
Yes, hi. Thank you so much for the information. I just was wondering, I know you mentioned a certificate for webinars. If we request a presentation for our clients, would they also get the certificate?
Definitely. Everybody that joins our webinar, you remember those webinars that I announced that we're going to have in the month of June?
Mhm.
Everybody who attends, that's open to the public.
Okay.
Anybody that attends our webinars gets the certificate. It's sent via email.
Okay, and even if, they don't join those set days, if it's a
Yeah, if you want
presentation
to
for-
set up like a webinar for your clients, we
Mhm.
can definitely do that, and they'll all get the certificate via email. Yes.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jamaha, for your question. Okay, so thank you so much.
I have one question.
Keisha?
Good
Okay.
evening. Yes.
Right.
So these info sessions or the webinars, is it only for adults, or do you have any that's geared to kids?
Only for adults.
It's only
Mhm.
for adults. Okay.
Yes. Mhm. But you know what? We do have a video, and it's called Ask First. So I'm going to look up the information so I can share it with the group. And it's a very nice video that you can share with the children. Let's say if it's a Head Start or a school that wants to encourage, let's say, children in kindergarten or daycare, you can show that. Basically, it teaches the child you need to ask first before you eat or drink anything. So let me give you an example. If someone in the home happens to be, let's say, on a treatment, it could be any kind of treatment, and the medicine is in the refrigerator, right? What happens? The child goes into the refrigerator. What if they take that medicine? Now we're in big trouble. So that's why we want to teach every child, before you eat or drink anything, ask first. And I'll share that video. I'll make sure that I'll share it with the group. I'll find out.
Thank
how
you.
I
I'll
can
put my
share it.
information in the chat
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
that you can email for me. And I would be interested in also, I would love to have a conversation with you via then just reaching out to I should guess schedule a
Keisha.
webinar. Yes, I'll put my info in the
Beautiful.
chat. Okay.
Please do. I will reach out. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Luz. Okay, Diane, can you introduce our next speaker?
Okay, thank you, Luz, for all that good information. Wow, things we didn't know. Okay, now our next presenter is Charlene A. Gordon. She's a senior public health educator from New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, Environmental Exposure Assessment and Education Program, Education and Community Partnership Unit. And she's also a part of our governance team here at East Flatbush Community Partnership. So Charlene A. Gordon, the mic is yours.
Okay, thank you so much. I think Sydney's gonna share my PowerPoint for me because I am not in the office at the moment. So Sydney, thank you as usual. Okay, all righty. So good afternoon, everyone. So I am Charlene Gordon. I'm also from the New York City Department of Health. I'm under the Bureau of Environmental Disease and Injury Prevention, and so is Luz. But I represent the Education and Community Partnership Unit. That's my contact information. And thank you for listening in to what we do. Next. So the mission of the Bureau of Environmental Disease and Injury Prevention is to prevent environmental disease and injury in homes, communities, and the workplace, and to protect the health by promoting healthy environments and health equity. Our bureaus within the division is our Healthy Homes program, which focus more on, environmental things as far as inspections in the home. We also have our Office of Environmental Investigation. They also do inspection. We have our Poison Control Center, which you just heard a presentation from Luz. We have an Injury and Violence Prevention, which focus more on injuries in the homes around, different instances. And we have our Environmental Exposure Assessment and Education. That's the unit I represent. Next. So our Education Community Partnership Unit, we pretty much provide education and resources to New Yorkers on environmental health hazards in your home, the workplace, and the community. If you ever had to reach us, this is our general email address that you can always email us and ask us a question. You can't reach me, you could also use that email. And we also have a phone line where it's open to the public, where the public can actually call and, gets information. If we're not available, you can always leave a message and then we'll call back. So the number is available, to get a live person's anytime from 8:30 to 4:30. After that, you can always leave a message and we'll definitely call you. Next. So I just wanted to kind of highlight, because, we are, all in Brooklyn, and the different neighborhoods and why it's important to know about different environmental hazards. Most of you have heard about lead poisoning. Lead poisoning is something where the rates are very high here in Brooklyn and in certain neighborhoods. So I just want to kind of highlight this is an old data, but the neighborhoods and as far as the rates are still the same. And this is with children who've had a blood lead test and their result is 10 and greater. So if you looked in on the chart, if you look in Brooklyn, you will see also East Flatbush is one of the neighborhoods that, we need to target. And it is basically, lots of it has to do with education. We also want to make sure that, families with young children do get their children tested for lead, is how it's important. We all live in these older buildings, and keep in mind, older buildings built before 1960 is presumed to have lead paint. So, just to kind of narrow you down on, why we have to continue doing education is important for you to know, because sometimes even the clients that you're working with are in these neighborhoods and education is great. Next. Yes, so what are some of the services we provide? So one, we do presentations. It could be virtuals or in person. We do it for parents, so we call it Parent Talks. So that's your clients, that's servicing families. We also do seniors. So if you're an agency that working with older adults, we do presentations. We also have staff trainings, to organizations who want to make sure that their staff is educated, because you're interacting with your clients on a everyday basis. So it's important. And some of you also do home visits to some of these clients' homes. So it'd be great to actually learn about these hazards, so that when you're going into the home and if there's issues, you know how to kind of direct them or for them to take care of themselves and also to their families, and what resources are available for them. We also have a professional trainings that's open, just geared to staff at different agency. We have different topics. Poison control does a piece of it also, to just educate you, because we want to make sure that we're educating you, because you're dealing with you're interacting a lot with the clients. Next. These are some topics that we cover. Our topics, we're done in English and Spanish. We also have someone that does it in Bengali and Russian. These are, you can select a couple or all of them, just to have it and just to educate your staff. We have our basic lead poisoning prevention, lead sources. We have our safe work, which is agency that has that working with workers who are like day laborers, and you just want them to know about some things about keeping themselves safe while they're working with lead. So that's our presentation. We also have our cooking safely, which focus on things are not that's not lead related, but more on the products as far as some spices, ceramics that, focus more on lead. And we have our cleaning your home safely presentation, which, we were all at home during COVID, and, we still had our virtual sessions here. And, you have little kids in the home. So some of the products that you may use to clean the home, we give you some advice of things to do to protect yourself and your family. We also have our indoor air quality presentations. We have our mold and moisture. As you know, mold is something that's deadly. It is something where, it needs to be fixed. Has to do with water, some kind of water leakage in the apartment, and, your landlord has to be involved. So we do some education around that. We also have our healthy homes overview, which, touches on like 5 tips on how to keep your home safely. And of course, we have our little pest issues, our bed bugs, our pests, and we educate you on those things. We have our window guards, as you know, window guards, it's something that's important, especially if there's children under 10 in that apartment, to make sure that you have it installed and to make sure that it's properly installed. And if you're, having any issue, who you can call. And for those whose services are older adults, we do have our falls prevention workshops for you. And as Luz mentioned, that they have a session on gardening, planting, ours is talking about safe gardening, how to reduce exposure on contaminated soil. Like if you have a house and there's chip and paint, those things can go into the soil and contaminate the soil. So those are the topics that we do cover, and it's available. You can request them as many times, and it's a great opportunity to educate the clients and your staff that you're working with. Next. So we also have an ESOL curriculum. It is a lead curriculum that's open to, if you're an agency that does ESL. It's a great tool that you can now introduce to the students that you're working with. It's online. It's free. There's various activities there, so you can actually download it and incorporate that in part of your presentations or part of your lesson plan that you're working with the students. So there is a plan for the curriculum, and there are some activities that you can actually use to kind of introduce that piece to the students, especially if you're doing things on health, or things that has to do with their environment. This could be a great little tool to share. Next. And I mentioned earlier, this is our information line. The goal of it is, basically we have operators who are just staff like myself, who actually just take your complaints, try to direct you to the appropriate areas. Sometimes it's within our health department, sometimes it's outside the health department, and try to assist you as much as possible, especially when it comes to complaints, house complaints. So that's what we do at that particular number, and it's always available to anyone to call. Next. So I know Luz mentioned earlier about some upcoming webinars that the Poison Control Center will be doing. So what I did here now is, this is our June calendar. So we do work very closely with the Poison Control Center to put a calendar together. So whenever you see, some of you may have seen the email and, giving you a schedule of what we're doing for the month. So we work with the Poison Control Center, and we put this one calendar together. So for us, the Education Community Partnership for June, we are celebrating Healthy Homes Month. So Healthy Homes Month, the theme this year it says Healthy Homes at Any Age. So that includes, young, old, etc. So we're having some webinars focused on as early as prenatal, how does, being a prenatal parent and how it affects as far as healthy homes. Why is it important for you? So we're having sessions for that group. We also have it in, if you have children, as far as healthy homes, how does it works? And also for older adults. So if you can see that we have a lot of webinars during the entire month on different things as far as healthy homes. And you'll see some of the poison prevention webinar there. And you see the date. This is the first time we're showcasing this. The calendar will be up next week. So I just wanted everyone to get a preview of what we have coming up. And some of you, sometimes if you do home visits, sometimes the families will say, oh, we're having this issue, and they tell you call 311 and an inspector will come out, or someone from the health department will come out and inspect. We're going to have a webinar on June 6th about healthy homes inspection during a home visit. Okay, so the inspector is going to kind of go over some of the things when they do a healthy homes inspection, what they ask the tenant and what it's expected and what happens. And so it's great to invite your clients to join those webinars so that when these things occur, what are type of questions that you should be asking those inspectors when they do come to your home, or what you should say or not say. Okay, so we're having something all around healthy homes, and it's free. All these webinars are free. You do get a certificate at the end of each session. And I heard someone ask about certificate. Yes, if we're working with you closely, we will definitely provide a certificate to you after the session ends. So this is a really great way, as I mentioned, ways that you can be able to join us in getting the community educated about different environmental hazards in your home and how to take care of it, who they need to call. If I have an issue about inspection, or I'm having a leaking problem or something, who can I call? So these are what these webinars are for, and it's free and it's virtual, and it's, you can join. Okay, to reach us, you can always, every month, the link stays the same, but the topics changes. We change, sometimes we do repeat. So you can always go on and check our website and just search for community presentation, and then you could see what comes up. So if you look like now, if you go on the site, you will see what we have for May, but the June would not show up until next week. So it's great to kind of check on us every month to see what we have coming up. And we also do presentations and available. If you just want your agencies to just, have this information, you can always reach out to us. And this is the contact person. You can reach out to Sandra Smart. That's our email address. We have 2 email addresses. You can just email us. It's general, or you can call us on the phone and we'll be able to respond. And keep in mind, all these services are for free. So yes, as you can see, our schedule starts June 6th all the way to June 30th. And we try to educate, and you see the different languages. Some of them we are having we partner with other agencies to have these sessions. I know DEP is going to do a session on lead and drinking water, and they're going to also do it in Spanish. It would be great for you to share that with your clients, because I know sometimes people have issues as far as, how can I get my drinking water tested? So they could be able to answer some of your questions. And we also have a new topic called child safety and injury prevention in the home. So it also be great. And we'll also be having it in Spanish. So it would be great to listen in. And lastly, we will have something on say goodbye to pests in the home. It's an issue for everyone. So it'd be great to hear our colleagues present. And if that's an issue, it will be able to help give you some tips. Next. Okay, so with all this education, we also have information that you can actually disseminate. We have materials in over 14 different languages that you can order. It's free. You can call 311, or you can actually reach out to us and we could be able to ship it and send it to you for free. Okay, next are some of our materials. Next. some of our materials as far as lead poisoning. So these are some of the materials that we do have on lead poisonings that you can order. And, if you're having a prenatal group, we do have information on lead and pregnancy. If you're working with individuals who do day laborers or construction, we have something on work safe. We also have a card talking about products. There are some products from different countries that may have lead into it. So we have some information that you can actually share with your group. And our newest thing is called our bookmark. It calls Ask Your Doctor to Test Your Child for Lead. So it's great. It's great reading, and it's great reminder for those clients that you're working with. Okay, next. And the next slide talks about the other brochures that we have, and we focus a little more on, like, say, for instance, toy safety. We have information on mold. We have information about lead hazards in the home. So if there's peeling paint issue in the home, we have some information there. Work safe, as you can say, shoot for lead safety. And we have our South Asian and lead poisoning, because that's a community where lead poisoning is an issue. So if you're servicing that group, we have some materials that you can order and disseminate us, and also to reach out to us if you need presentations. Next. Okay, and this is our newest material order form. We just updated it. It is online. That's the site that you could go there and you'll see it. And then you can paste your requests. It gives you some of the brochures, and it tells you what languages that there are, and you can fill it in. It's a fillable field, and make your requests. And again, it's free, and you can send it over to us. So these are some of our brochures that we put on the sheet. I just wanted to kind of highlight and let you know that this is also available to you. And next. And just to let you know that if you haven't already, you can always follow the Department of Health on their different social media sites. I know the partnership probably is, and it's great because that's where you actually find information out quickly. And, different areas in the health department does have to share some information, and they tweet it out to you. So definitely be great if you haven't joined, and now is a great time to see where we are, and you can follow us. And leave it to the last slide to just say, if you have any questions, here I am. Thank you so much, Sydney.
Welcome.
Any questions from anyone? Oh, a question says, how do I get my tape water tested? And how come I never asked that before? So I'm assuming your water. So DEP, which is Department of Environmental Protection, offer a free water kit to any resident in New York City.
Have some of this. You can bring that inside if you want.
Yes, any resident in New York City, and all you have to do is to call 311 and just ask for that kit, and they will send it to you. Take a sample, send it back to them, and they will tell you if there's lead in the water at home. But yes, they do test. They test for lead, not the other metals. Okay, so great. So yeah, so that's information that you can share with your clients. You could, staff yourself. That's available, and just to let you know, it's free. Okay, anything else? Any other question? Yes, and just to let you also know, I see some information about back to school events. If you're having any back to school events, or if you're having any tabling events, you can always reach out to us. We bring some of those educational materials to those locations so that we can be able to educate your community. That's a great way, as far as, partnering with us, having sessions, joining us at our virtual sessions, requesting us to do sessions for you. And, we are available, and our services for free. Yes. Yes. And yes, and in June, as you can see, Department of Environmental Protection will be doing a session on lead and water, the drinking water. So you definitely can, if you around and want to learn a little more about, them, you can also join us then. Yes, it's 311 that you will contact if you need to get the free water kit. Any questions?
Good question, Charlene. Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
The June schedule you have, I believe I'm on your mailing list.
Mhm.
I'm just wondering if you can just send that schedule out,
Mhm.
just like email it out, so in that way, you can have it
Yeah.
just as the schedule to
So
see.
the schedule is not out yet. What I did was, it's not out as yet because we have to go through various channels to get it online. So what I've done is we have the schedule, right? So what I have on my PowerPoint, I am willing to, if Sydney and Lamecca could actually share it with you, so you already know what we're going to have. So as soon as that schedule goes out next week, you already have that information. It's just, then would be just for you to register. It hasn't been out
Gotcha.
to the public yet, but you have a preview now to see what we're going to be having coming up in June. Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? And you definitely, Sydney, you guys could share the PowerPoint with everyone so that you can have it. All right. Thank you all.
Thank you, Charlene. We appreciate you.
No
And thank you for all
problem.
the information you shared.
Mm.
So I'm going to share my screen again to share some more information, and then we'll move into our mental health segment. So in the chat, someone asked how they could be a presenter for the East Flatbush Community Partnership. So I just want to share with you the form that you would need to fill out. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to show that. Sorry, everyone. Okay. So the form to present at one of our meetings, it looks like this, pretty straightforward. And the link is in the chat. We just basically ask you to give us information about who you are, where you're from, as well as, what you'll be presenting on. And we have it going until July, but I'm going to add the rest of the dates as well. So feel free to fill that form out if you would like to present. I also put in the chat the link to sign up for our newsletter. And I can't see it right now. Hold on. Yes, that link is here. If you do not have access to our newsletter, which comes out every week, feel free to click on that link so that you can sign up for that. And then I want to just show you what our newsletter looks like, because I am super proud of it. And kudos to Cindy Reed, who takes a lot of time to put this together, as well as all the partners that sends her information. So this is our newsletter. I believe this is the last one that went out this week, yesterday. So we have information about the partnership. We have information about education activities going on. We also have a section on health. And also on employment and business concerns. Okay, so feel free. That's ways that you can connect with us as well. So with that said, now we're going to move into our mental health segment. What we've started to do, if you haven't realized already, is we've definitely started to make sure that we include two important pieces. One of the things that the partnership really holds near and dear to our hearts is making sure that we have connections with a variety of stakeholders. And one of those stakeholders is faith-based leaders. So that's why we wanted to include a segment where we have words of encouragement. The first time we did it, we had a rabbi speak. And since then, it's been really Christian heavy focus, but we're looking to change that. We also want to include other faith as well. So if you have anyone that you know in East Flatbush and could represent a faith that would like to share some words of encouragement, you can definitely share the information with us. And we also began to introduce a mental health segment, because we know that the work we do at times can take a toll on us as our social service workers. So we wanted to take some time right now just to take a pause from all the information and really just reflect on ourselves and how we're doing. So I'm going to play the video, and then after the video is over, I'm going to pose a question where people are open to it, they can share. Okay, so here we go. Please let me know if you cannot hear the video.
Every day we are faced with challenges and obstacles which can help us grow and help define us. And when stress creeps in, well, it can make things seem quite impossible. It can even paralyze us and prevent us from doing things that need to be done. How heavy is this glass of water? Melissa, would you care to answer?
8 ounces,
12 ounces?
16 ounces.
The absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold it for a minute, nothing happens. If I hold it for an hour, my arm will begin to ache. If I hold it all day long, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. Well, the weight of the glass hasn't changed, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and the worries of life are like this glass of water. If you think about them for a little while, there's no problem. Think about it for a little bit longer, it begins to hurt. You think about them all day long, and you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Always remember, put the glass down.
Okay, so that was the quick video I wanted to share. And now I'm gonna pull up the question. Okay. So at this time, I would like to hear from anyone who's feel comfortable sharing, to share of anything that you think you need to put down in your life. It could be work-related, personally. This is a safe space, so feel free to share if anyone would like to.
Hi everyone, this is Daphne. Sorry, I am not on video. I'm currently working at right now, but I would like to share one thing that I would like to put down is the constant need to be busy and to make sure that I define what productivity is, because productivity is not always doing, but to make sure that what I'm doing are effective or impactful. And have purpose in them. So I need to put down the idea of always being in the movement, always working. Thank you.
Thank you, Daphne. Anyone else that would like to share?
I would share, I was actually thinking about this earlier, where I felt guilty with some of the clients that we've been trying to help and feeling like I couldn't help them. You know, a lot of people are struggling because of COVID, and we know, you know, our programs do their best. They weren't perfect and before COVID, and if COVID did not, you know, make something stand out more, it definitely has. And some of those challenges just sometimes make me feel like I'm not doing what I'm doing. But just concerning some of the things that they're going through. We had a client that going through a lot of stress and went into the hospital because of her high blood pressure because of it. So I just felt some grief from that, and just, so I need to drop that. Not to say it's a bad thing to have that feeling, but to drop that because we are doing the best that we can.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Cindy. Is there anyone else?
Put down being everybody's safety net. You know, there's things and assignments that are put out there and everybody else is comfortable saying no or will take it on and then drop the ball. And I always feel like I got to be the person to pick it up. So I'm glad that he set that glass down on the table, because I'm going to start sitting a few things on the table myself. I love that video. It was short. Thank you. You always bring it. You always bring it when I need it. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, Karen, and I'm excited for you to put the glass down. Is there anyone else that would like to share? I can share in the meantime. So for me, it's not something specific, but very often when I feel anxious about something, or if I just don't understand why something is happening, it can cause me to lose sleep at night. And I was doing great for weeks. I was doing great. I put in my music and I would just sleep like a baby. And then this week something happened and it didn't work out so well. I literally stayed up the entire night. I was like, this again. And I don't know how to overcome that. I put on the Bible, I prayed, I had some music running and nothing worked. So I don't even know like what to put down, but I don't want to have sleepless nights about, things that are happening in my life. Unless of course it's something major, because then that is what that is. But this thing wasn't major, but that is sometimes how I cope, to just stay up and think. Okay, here it is. I want to put down being an overthinker. I think that's what the issue is. So that's for me. Anyone else would like to share?
Yeah, I'll share. If any one of you know my story, my best friend had a stroke last September, Carlene, and it just taught me that it's not as serious as we think. I really just stopped stressing everything. At the same time as she's recovering from the stroke, I actually was not sleeping well and I got shingles at 39. So it was like one thing to the next. And so I really have learned over the last year, and especially with her recovering from the stroke, I was right by her side. Not to stress it. If it doesn't get done by 5 o'clock, it's a 9 o'clock in the next morning problem. Absolutely learn to take life a lot lightly, and don't put off those vacations. Take those trips. Take those trips. I'm thankful that she's still here with me, but definitely a lot of life lessons learned in the last year.
Yes. Thank you so much. We have time for about 2 more people. If there's anyone else that would like to share.
I just want to say, just just the current events that's happening now, just being a mom have me, a little bit more stressed, because I try to hug my son every day before he leaves, tell him I love him, because it's so scary to know that we can walk out the door and that's, that, I mean, it is what it is, we know that these things, it can happen, but now it seems that it's just, so evident that it's scary. So, just have me a little bit on edge, just a little bit more worried about my friends and family members, co-workers, and anything like that. So I just want to be able to just get that under control, because like you don't sleep. I'm one of those who don't sleep also. So, that happens to me too. And it hits me harder in the day, because when I don't sleep at night, then I'm struggling during the course of the day to get things done.
Yeah. Thank you, Keisha. Is there someone else that would like to share?
Actually, I want to share with, I'm sorry. So to follow Keisha's worries, right, about current events, the thing that I like to put down is a lot of media. So I try to not watch as much media as possible. And there actually is a media called good news media. So for every bad thing that happens, I look for that to see, because there's a ton of things that are happening in the world that are so good, and they don't get news, they don't get the top news headlines because people are not clicking on that. So for every bad thing that does happen, there's 20 really amazing things that are happening in the world. So I like to always think, just, you could stay current, but you can put that down at some point and say, you know what, I need that good news, and it's all around us, and just even, smiling at somebody, can make someone's day. So.
Thank you, Danielle. I just want to shout out, we presented a flyer earlier about some cooking classes. So Danielle is going to be hosting those. Thank you for joining us for our monthly meeting today. Someone said that they missed a part of the video, and we do have some time. So I'm going to play it one more time. And then I feel like we're having a good discussion, so I won't rush it. If there are people who want to share after the second go around, we'll take those and then we'll have program updates. Okay, so bear with me. Let me share it one more time for my friend who didn't get to see it. It's okay. I'll share it again. Okay, so can you all see the screen with the video? Yes?
No.
No?
No, there's no video on the screen.
Okay, thank you for letting me know. Thank you so much. Okay. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna play it one more time.
Every day we are faced with challenges and obstacles which can help us grow and help define us. And when stress creeps in, well, it can make things seem quite impossible. It can even paralyze us and prevent us from doing things that need to be done. How heavy is this glass of water? Melissa, would you care to answer?
8 ounces,
12 ounces,
16 ounces.
The absolute weight of the glass doesn't matter. It depends on how long I hold on to it. If I hold it for a minute, nothing happens. If I hold it for an hour, my arm will begin to ache. If I hold it all day long, my arm will feel numb and paralyzed. Well, the weight of the glass hasn't changed, but the longer I hold on to it, the heavier it becomes. The stresses and the worries of life are like this glass of water. If you think about them for a little while, there's no problem. Think about it for a little bit longer, it begins to hurt. You think about them all day long, and you'll feel paralyzed, incapable of doing anything. Always remember, put the glass down.
Okay, so that was the video shared one more time. And is there anything that, sorry, is there anyone who would like to comment on something that they need to put down?
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, I think we heard from everyone, so we can continue with our program updates. So at this time, if you have any program updates that you would like to share about the work that you're doing, what's going on in your world, feel free to unmute yourself and do that. And then you can also share your screen if you have something you want us to see visually.
Hey, I want to share really quick because I have to jump off on another meeting. So I'm happy that this happened this early. I just want to share Sesame Flyers. I'm Keisha Sidney. I do community outreach with Sesame Flyers. Just a few things. We do have the SYEP program that's happening now. We are still looking for work sites to place the kids. We do have 700 kids that we're working with this year. So we are looking for work sites, even if it's just one person you may need. There's 3 ways you can be a work site. You can offer hybrid, fully remote, or it can be fully in person. So those are 3 ways that you guys can think about. I'm going to put my information in the chat again. We're also looking for anyone who would be interested to do a workplace challenge. And the workplace challenge is basically you'll be working with the kids virtually. You would meet with them once a week for 6 weeks, and you are going to present to them the very first week. You will present a challenge that's happening at your job, a real life challenge that's happening, and then the kids would in turn come up with a solution. At the end of the 6 weeks, they'll present to you how you can solve this problem. We're also having our June 4th Sports Day. I'll put the link in the chat that you guys can have your community sign up. It's a free event, and from 10 in the morning till about 4 in the afternoon. So I'll put the link, the Eventbrite link because you have to get t-shirts, right, for you and for the kids that are signing up. Thank you.
Thank you, Keisha. Is there anyone else that would like to share program updates?
Yes, can I share? So hi, Victoria from Loving Kindness Wellness. I just wanted to throw out that we're having a bunch of events coming up. Most are free or donation based. And on Monday, we are having our chakra event, learning about the chakras. And if it's all right, I'll share my screen because I have the flyer and there's a QR code. You could just scan it and sign up if you're interested.
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Thank you. Here it is. This event does cost $20, but it's led by a Reiki master. It's going to be really interesting. And again, yeah, this is our QR code, and I'll also share a link to our events page on our website. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome, Victoria. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else that has any program updates?
I'll share. This is Daphne with the Art and Public Speaking Program. We are having our second annual 6-week summer program for kids ages 8 to 13. It's going to start July 9th all the way to August 20th, where we have a graduation for the kids. We're currently working on the flyers and all the information, and I will share it with the East Flatbush communities to share the flyer. If you work with any parents with kids 8 to 13, we would love to have them so that we can expose them to different forms of art and also help them build confidence to speak confidently in front of an audience, whether it is in front of their teachers, in front of their doctors or their classroom, or even in front of an audience like us, so that they can share how they're feeling and share their ideas and all the opinions. Thank you.
Thank you, Daphne. Is there anyone else?
Hello?
Yes. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? That was a wonderful video presentation. Nice and sweet and very good. I just wanted to, in the future, I would outreach, I guess, to Cindy in terms of doing a presentation, but just to let everybody know that we finalized a date for our back to school event that we usually have every year, but we haven't had it for the past 2 years because of the pandemic. So that's an opportunity for us, different service providers, community board or community based organizations to come out and table at the event. Is free. We usually have activities for kids, for families, the whole gamut. So anybody who's interested, I'm going to send an email out. I know Ms. Reed will share it. And those who are willing to participate, we look forward to having you there.
Jacqueline, could you share which organization you're with?
Administration for Children's Services.
Okay.
Where we cover East Flatbush.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Hello, I just got into the meeting. I don't know what section of the meeting you're.
Oh, no problem. How do you pronounce your name?
Jahai,
Jahai, nice to meet you. And where are you from?
from the Civilian Complaint Review Board, CCRB.
Okay, great. Thanks for joining. So we are pretty much wrapping up our monthly meeting, but this is the segment where if anyone has any program updates about their organization, any events coming up, this is a time to share. So would you like to share?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm Jahai Rose. I go by he, him pronouns. I'm the Director of Outreach for the CCRB. I actually used to cover these meetings before I was promoted. I really miss coming to the meetings in person. So the CCRB has had a few changes since the last time we visited you. One, the agency is working through our process of investigating bias-based policing and racial profiling. The agency has changed a couple of ways that we do we're also doing in-person board meetings. In-person board meetings happen at our Manhattan office at 100 Church Street. That's every second Wednesday of the month. And they happen at 4 o'clock. So they may shift. Before we used to do meetings in person, and we used to do meetings in person in the community and in our office. We used to alternate. So there'd be one in every borough, but we're starting off a little slowly. So we're doing in the office for now. And then as things get a little bit more clear regarding the safety in doing it in community, then we'll be able to do it in community. But as we do those meetings, they're also available to be, you can also participate with them virtually and in person. So if you can't make it all the way down to 100 Church Street, or if we're doing it in the community and you can't make it to the area of the community that we're in, you can still always be able to participate virtually on WebEx. One thing that I do want to highlight is that the CCRB's outreach unit is trying to be in as many spaces as possible. One of those spaces is in recreational spaces. So we definitely want to come to your local basketball courts, handball courts, football fields, baseball diamonds. This is through an initiative that we're doing called CCRB Courtside, and that allows us to meet people where they're at with credible messengers in the community. So if you are a coach, if you're just a concerned person, everyone has that mom in the neighborhood that, you know, kind of governs everything in the neighborhood, that concerned person, feel free to come with us. We want people to understand the information that we're providing, but you know the community better than we do, and we'll definitely follow your lead regarding how to give that information to the public. Another space where we need validators for is something called CCRB Block by Block, where we canvass neighborhoods with organizations and credible messengers. So an individual doesn't need to be an organization to do this block by block with us. If you're just someone that's influential in your community, someone that people listen to in your neighborhood, feel free, come out, bring us out with you to have these conversations. And we're just in the space where we want to meet people where they're at. We miss a lot of people if we only do formalized meetings. So we want to make sure we're putting our feet to the pavement and getting back into community and meeting people where they are. We also have an initiative called CCRB Cares. So if anybody has a charitable event, like you're going to be giving away food to members of the public at pantries, you want to build a tree, you want to plant a tree, you're going to be doing the neighborhood. I love neighborhood cleanups. I feel like it's an amazing thing to see people take the cleanliness of their community into their own hands. I used to do them in my prior capacity. The CCRB staff is willing to do it now in my current capacity. So if you have a volunteer initiative like that and you're looking for volunteers, please don't hesitate. I'll leave my information in the chat and reach out and we'll volunteer if we have the capacity to. As long as we have also the ability to give out our CCRB pamphlets and information, we would love to do that. And then we also do presentations at barbershops and salons. So your favorite hair salon, favorite barbershop. I don't do nail salons. I'm sorry, I can't take the chemicals, but I'm pretty certain some of my staff members will. That being the case, if you have those opportunities available for us, don't hesitate. I think that's a great space for us to be able to have a conversation about police accountability. Everyone knows what normal conversations happen in these spaces. So we know they're very raw, they're gritty, they get straight to the point, no cutting corners. So we want to be in that space as well to have a real candid conversation about police accountability. Thank you very much. I know I'm really late for allowing me to speak, and I won't be this late next time.
Okay, thank you so much for joining and for what you shared. I love the different ways that you outreach. I think that it speaks to the heart of how we actually connect with community. So thanks for sharing that. Is there anyone else with program updates?
Sure. I'm Michael Dunbar, Deputy Director for FSU and ACS. So I just want to share with you that on Friday, June 17th, we're Brooklyn East ACS is having a fatherhood event, which is called Reimagining Fatherhood. As a fatherhood forum where we're going to have some great guest speakers, Sean Dove, Gary Clemens, Mr. Rodney Jackson from ACS, Assistant Commissioner. We also have our own FCLS for Borough Chief that's also going to be present. And the reason why we're doing this is because, you know, when we talk about fatherhood, you know, oftentimes there comes with a negative connotation, and especially for men of color. And we don't really delve into the real root causes that contribute to, that shapes our fathers in society. And so we want to reimagine what fatherhood is, move away from the stereotypes and myths and the imageries that we have seen across the plethora of venues. So this is going to be a great event. It's virtual, and we're going to make sure that we delve real deep in about what we need to do, change our, you know, our practices, especially in our child welfare systems, court systems, and hopefully also impact our communities so that they can see how powerful men of colors are and the wonderful things that we can do. So this is June 17th. It's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It is a virtual, and we're going to share the link so that we can have a lot of people come out and celebrate this event It commemorates also Father's Day, that's Father's Day weekend, and of course, Juneteenth. So I look forward to seeing all of you there to support us in this great event.
Thank you, Michael. Someone asked if you have flyers. I think that's for the event. Will they see a flyer from the link you put in the chat?
Yes, I'm going forward with the flyers.
Okay, great. Thank you. Any more program updates? Okay, so if there are no more program updates, we're gonna finish things off for today. I'm gonna go
I have
back
a
to share my-
question. I'm
Yes.
sorry, Lameka.
Go ahead, Cindy.
Anybody have any information about other youth engagements happening during the summer? Please share. A lot of parents don't have some things for their kids. So if there's any activities that's going on or something that somebody wants to do and is looking for a space, please reach out and let's connect to see how we can bring that to the community, because the Summer Rising is limiting to the community based on the numbers that's provided for families to sign up for that. And we just want to make sure that over the summer that youth kids are engaged in other ways.
Thank you, Sydney. Now that you mention it, this is Gabby from OBT speaking, and I spoke earlier today. Yeah, Summer Rising, my kid got locked out of it because there were not enough space in the school that sucks. And OBT is having summer programming for youth with like teenagers and older teenagers and younger adults. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that with you. The best way to get in touch would be your email address. Is that right?
Yes, please. I haven't seen the flyers for that, so please.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to continue with the presentation. Okay, we are actually wrapping things up shortly. So I want to share with you our social media handle, East Flatbush Partnership. We're on Facebook as well as Instagram. And our next meeting is going to be held on June 23rd at 3 o'clock virtually. And these other zip codes in our catchment area, 11203, 11210, 11212, 11226. And if you are working with residents that don't live in these zip codes, we can still assist them. And that is it for the meeting, but I would like to open it up if anyone just had anything else that you want to talk about. I'm actually going to stop the recording. We do have a little bit of time. So if anyone just wants to just have casual conversation, I'll leave the meeting open for a little while. If you would like to leave, that's totally fine because we are officially done, but I'm going to keep it open for anyone that might want